The The revenue generation in your business is your primary responsibility. If you want to have a business and thinking you can delegate and outsource that is a lot of people are putting the cart way before the horse when it comes to that. And they think that sales funnels is going to do it. No, they think that a social media marketing manager or VA is going to do it. No, especially if, like I said, you're not using those people and those resources to buy back your time for you to do the sales and the marketing because it takes big budgets to truly outsource the sales and the marketing. And when you see these I'm not going to name any names, I almost said one online, they actually hire closing firms. They set up funnels in that to get the lead and get the lead offline, and then they get them on the phone with professional closers who close the deal for them, and then they give them a percentage of the sale. So I tell people, and I am teaching my grandchildren and everyone's kids around me sales and marketing because they are not optional. They are life skills in the world of AI in
Mm.
this age that we are moving into. You have to be able to sell and market yourself. And thank you for letting me riff because I saw on Threads this week someone complaining, and they had a whole thread that all the negative Nellies were on it about, read the room, charging 497 for an employment toolkit when people are applying for 300 positions and getting ghosted and they're broke. Like, how dare you? Like, it's value exchange, right? 497 to get a job making 100K a year is even at $25,000 a year is a hefty return
Yeah.
on
Yeah,
your
yeah, yeah.
investment.
So let me ask you this. And I love what you just said about the entrepreneur because I would say that I could totally call myself that and not know that that's what I was doing because of that gap between what sales and marketing really is, what I'm paying somebody thinking that they're doing that is, and the gap. So, how can I have awareness in what I need to be doing in order to mush the gap?
It's accountability and responsibility, to be completely honest with you, is what it
Okay.
boils down to, right? So the gap exists because of a couple things, right? It's going to exist because of confidence, your belief in your ability to do it, your competence, your ability to know what to do and how to execute it, and then lastly, being willing to take the responsibility and be accountable for it, regardless of if you outsource it or not, right? And so the reason I use the word entrepreneur is not a derogatory term. It's actually because there are people who love what they do and they go in business, like we were talking about the waiter, right? They go in business to do what it is that they love to do. And sales and marketing is not what they love to do. It's what I love to do. So, do they stay in this world of freelance, right? Or do they, if they really want to build a business around it, they're going to need sales and marketing. They're going to need a bookkeeper. They're going to need, a financial advisor, somebody making sure the taxes get paid and all of that. But they don't want to deal with, a lot of times they don't want to deal with those things. They want, some people, not all of them, some of them just want to look like they have a business, right? And but they really are really good at what they do, no matter what that is. That's what they want to do. They don't want to do these other things that are going to grow and sustain the business. And so that gap exists again because either you don't believe you can do it, you don't want to do it, or you don't see the value of it. A lot of times it's they don't see the value of it. And so it really then is about aligning your expectations and your goals and desires, what it is that you want. Do you just want to have a few clients here and there? That's fine. There's nothing saying you can't do that.
Mm.
There's nothing
Mm-mm.
saying that there's anything wrong with that. But what do you are you building a legacy business? Are you building something that in 5 years that you could sell it if you want to? It's all about what do you want.
I love all of the things you're saying from the perspective of alignment,
Hmm.
right? Because there are a lot of people, and my industry is coaching. So I'm going to point out the coaches, right? There's a lot of coaches who come in and they see all these big marketers and these $10,000 programs with, we're going to help you and we're going to get you a return on your investment and we're going to do all the things. And they don't realize that they're teaching them to have a legacy business,
Mhm.
as opposed to somebody who really doesn't have the mindset for a legacy business. They have the mindset for a side hustle, and really not realizing that they may want the result of this, but they're not the person, even if it's just in this moment, who can actually receive that.
Right.
And then they're spending all this time and money and effort, and they haven't started with the three things that you just mentioned: the accountability, the capacity, and uh whatever that third piece was. What was
I said confidence, competence, but I like capacity too. Yeah. If I were to,
competence is what I was thinking of,
yeah.
capacity.
But if
Yeah.
I were to say three, to me, capacity is the accountability and the responsibility. So the
Oh,
three
that.
C's are capacity, confidence, and now I'm drawing. It's competence, confidence, or and capacity is what I would say. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And I love that the capacity being the accountability and responsibility. So I love that so much, because until we know who we are in those three areas,
Girl,
everything we're doing is a waste of money, a waste of time, and ultimately a waste of the energy of our joy.
it's lack
Because
of
if we could,
stewardship.
yes, yes, preach,
It's lack of
preach.
stewardship.
Yeah. And we don't even know it. And that's the thing. We don't even know that we
Girl,
are
did we just solve the
spending.
world's problems?
I love it.
Sorry, I keep cutting you off.
I know it's okay. I love it, because I think that this really is such a powerful, beautiful conversation, because I know for a long time I found the wrongness in me, which kept me more stuck, which kept me on the wheel of the downward spiral of my business, right? Instead of somebody coming in and going, guess what? It's okay to not have the confidence, to not have the capacity, to not have the competence. It's okay. But let's start you where you're at.
Mhm.
Let's get you aligned with exactly where you're at, so that you can move forward, so that
Yes.
you can, if you are somebody who really is creating a legacy business, let's get you step by step to there. And if you're not, let's allow you to be okay with that, so that you can find joy and ease and beauty in your business, instead of thinking something's wrong with you, or that you lack something that is just simply not where you are right now.
Girl,
Mm,
girl,
mm.
girl, girl. Woo, baby. You just said it. You just said it. And even with legacy, right? Because I came to this conclusion like 3, 4 years ago. What legacy business am I really building? Because I know my kids don't want it. I
Mm.
know they don't want it. I know they don't want to have anything to do with it. So am I really, why? Yeah, we can say we want to build a legacy business, but what if nobody wants it, right? What if
Yeah.
what if nobody wants to? So, is it legacy for your children and your grandchildren, or maybe something that you can sell and then go on from there? But these are things that we have to think about, because how many restaurants and stores and that close because the key person who started it and ran it and built it and grew it, they died, and now no one else in the family wants to take it over. So what do? They either sell it or they liquidate all the assets. They sell everything, and that's the end of it. So
Yeah.
a lot of times it's our dream, but it might not be our children and grandchildren's dream. So for me, the legacy portion is what assets can I acquire and create for them by doing and leveraging what God gave me, and then create legacy that way.
I love that you say that. And it's so like, Oh my gosh, this is just, we need to spend more time together
We
because this
do.
is just
I feel like we need to do a podcast.
yeah, so good. Because here's the thing, that recognizing, like, my dream has always been like, I want to include my children in what I do. I'm very business minded
Mm-hmm.
in so many areas, and then recognizing where I wasn't business minded, and then settling into how do I be what I'm created to be, but still do the things that I need to do to enhance who
Right.
I've been created to be, right? But one of the things, my son wants to do um, real estate investing.
Mm-hmm.
And so when he started showing interest in that, my whole shift changed, because I'm like, okay, exactly what you just said. How do I create my legacy that I want to create for me, right? For me, but utilize that in how then I bring my
Yeah.
son into my world,
Right.
because he doesn't want to be a coach. He's a football coach, but he doesn't want to be a mindset coach. He doesn't want to be a
Right.
spiritual coach. He doesn't want to be all that. But can I use my resources to then blend into his world, use all of the beautiful mindset stuff that I've done to actually, how do we connect and do these things together? So I
Yeah.
love that you say that.
Yeah, and I think it stems from, listening to you, I'm picturing in my head like the early 1900s when all these immigrants came to the United States through Ellis Island and they became seamstresses and they started restaurants and that was the American dream. You build this business and then because I in my early 20s, I mean I turned 18 one Tuesday, had a baby the next. There was, I would ride on the down to college and there was this red and white building and on it said Johnson and Son Incorporated and I was like, I want T.S. Hamilton and daughter. That was my dream and I think we have this in our mind that that's the way we create legacy is we create this family business and everybody works in the family business. Well, in reading like Malcolm Gladwell's, I think it was Tipping Point, a lot of what happened in those immigrant families is those children then went on became doctors and lawyers and so nobody was there to take on that business. And when you look at what old money does, that's not how old money approaches it. That's not
Yeah.
their legacy. Their legacy is the trust. Their legacy is the resources,
Resource.
mhm, not
And
the labor.
right. And I also think, and as you were saying this, and the fact that they come and they work really hard and they do this thing
Mhm.
and they think, oh, they're going to become a seamstress or whatever, but they become doctors and they go, the legacy is also the mindset,
Yes.
right? The
And work
mindset
ethic.
of success,
Hmm.
the mindset of hard work,
Yes.
the mindset of how we are at first cause
Mhm.
in what we're creating, that we can't rely on the government to take
No.
care of us. We can't rely on, now, we can't rely on a job, right? Because we have to recognize that we are the steward. Going back to what you said, we're the steward of the resources that come from the job. So we don't count on the job, we count on who we are becoming through doing a job and the resources that God gives us.
Right.
That then, what are we going to do to create a legacy of trust and mindset, and that knowing who we are, that we are that identity of power and trust and stewardship, and right, made in
Right.
the
And
image
it goes
of
back to
God.
the entrepreneur because the entrepreneur doesn't know who he or she is. And so their ideal client ends up being any and everybody because they don't know who they are.
Yeah. And then they're frustrated, or
Yeah.
they stay broke, or they're spending more than they're making, or like all of the things. And I love that you say that, because when we're doing a mastermind in our polka dot group, and the very first thing we do, and I tell people, if you don't know who your ideal client is, down to where they shop, what they think at night, what wakes them up, what their children are doing, what is their relationship with their spouse, what are their hobbies, if you don't know that, everything you're saying is like spitting in the wind.
Right.
And And like when I tell people, like I have a 2-page printout of my ideal client. She has a name, she has a specific age. She's not now, I might think about, okay, women over 40 or single moms, or but my ideal client, I only talk to one person and one person alone.
Yeah, and you still are gonna pull in the others, but you
Yeah,
just
because it's
that
all
one
about,
person.
yeah, because it's all about the energy of you knowing you,
Mhm.
as opposed to like trying to figure out how to sell.
I love that. It's all about the energy of you knowing you because when you know who you are not. And that was the greatest that was the biggest pivot for me in my business back in like 2014 was defining my ideal client instead of a target market like I learned in school, right? By defining my ideal client down to the detail that you just described. Now I know when I can hear it. When they get to talking crazy, I'm like, oh no, this ain't my ideal client. You go somewhere else with that.
That's
Go
so,
somewhere else with that. That
yeah.
came up in large group mastermind, like they went down this road of QR codes and some people not liking them. Like, well, then that's not your ideal client. If you use
Yeah.
QR codes and they don't want to do that stuff, then that's not your ideal client. Should you, yes,
Preach.
still put the link on there? Yes, because if the QR code doesn't work or something technologically happens, they can still get to the website. But to start rebuilding what you do to accommodate, not like from a disability standpoint, but just to accommodate somebody just because so you can get a sale. No, learn to say no to that person so you open up the flow and the energy for the right person to show
Preach.
up.
Preach.
Girl, this is just one big riff. I'm loving this.
Oh,
We're
no.
just co-riffing back and forth.
I do. I love it so much because, again, I think so often the attention is on how do I make this person my client instead of where is my client and who am I being so that my client can see me.
Holy Ghost, Holy Ghost. Just be. Just be, and they will show up.
Yep.
Just be. Be the embodiment, right? It's like I say, you are the brand, you are the content, you are the algorithm, you're the niche. Just be. And they're going to show up. They're going to find you. Like is going to attract like.
And from there, sales and marketing
Mhm.
are easy.
So easy. It's so
Yeah.
easy. It's like
Yeah.
effortless.
Yeah. I talk about how I was like Jonah for so long because God was like, Lori, this is who I want you to help in this world. I'm like, no, not helping those people. And God's like, Lori, you're not looking at it the way I want you to see it. I'm like, I don't, I hear you. And you're right. There's something inside my brain that can't see it. And absolutely not. And I ran the opposite direction. And a lot of the money that I spent was because I want this to be my ideal client because this is what sells. This is what people want. This is what is acceptable.
Mhm.
Right. And guess where my results were? I mean,
Yeah.
I am lucky enough that I still had some great results in my business, but it was never fun. It was never easy. It was never life giving. It was always life sucking because then I had to do it again and try to figure out how to find more clients because they weren't just flocking to me
Right.
like they would if I was just like, okay, here I am. Who wants it?
Right.
Right.
Oh,
And
here I am.
yeah.
Get some titties. Sorry.
Well, there is that.
Come. Who wants it? I love
Who
it.
wants it?
Who wants it? Come get
Yeah.
it. Yeah. No,
And that really is because that's where we find flow and that's where we find life. So now, and that's where I have recently, why I can even do technology,
Mhm.
why I can even think about doing social media stuff, why like the funnel that I'm creating and the ads that I'm creating are fun and not how do I get it right? Because
Right.
I have to get it right if this out there is what I need to do to get, as
Mhm.
opposed to like it's easeful. Now, is it easy? No, there's things I still have to learn and still have to do and still have to, right? And
Right.
there are days that I'm still frustrated. And Elaine has seen me cry more than a handful of times because I'm like, I just don't fucking get it. And I feel like I don't have that capacity, right?
Right.
And she loved me through it, and it got easier, but the ease of it
Right.
was there because I knew who I was, and it was just the obstacles that God continued to grow me in and
Yes,
through.
because it's a constant becoming.
Yes, to then show up and be able to say, like, this is a gift to the world, not how do I get,
Mhm.
but I have this gift to give to the world. And here it is. And who wants my gift? And right, that beautiful flow of the becoming.
Yeah, yeah, it's a
Yeah.
constant becoming. That's what entrepreneurship is. And that's the entrepreneur isn't really in it to become. They're in it to
Yeah.
do. They're in it to just do. And
Yeah.
that's where the friction becomes because they want to just do and not become. But they want to serve. And if you want to serve, you have to constantly be becoming because things are always evolving and changing and growing. I see it like in local businesses where I live. And I walk into my favorite little stop little holistic shop, and she's complaining about the internet, and it's like, why complain about it? Because I look at my own business, and I've sold makeup to people in countries I've never set foot in. I've done business. I wouldn't even know you if it wasn't for the internet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because without the internet, I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't still be a polka dot. If I had to go to those in-person meetings and all of that, I wouldn't still be a polka dot, right? And getting the celebration and doing all of those things. So the internet has opened me up and been able to get to people and get in front
Mhm.
of, and like you said, be and pull those people in, where like I woke up to an order this morning and I don't even talk about that skincare anymore. But the content is out there, and it's working for me. So it's all again in that becoming and expanding. Not enough emphasis on the expansion, because that's what
Yeah.
we're doing when we're growing and we're becoming. We're expanding to be able to hold and receive
Preach.
more, to receive and hold more. But you can't do that when you're just focused on doing, 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 doing.
Yeah. 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 There, I saw this meme. I think it's a meme. I don't know what the difference between a meme and a GIF anyway, but it was this picture, and it showed like this line, and kind of like the Peanuts thing where she has the little sign up top, and the sign was, and now if you actually see this picture, and I will go look for it and send it to you, I'm probably a liar. You'll get the point of what I'm saying, but
Yeah.
the details, whatever. But like the first line was like, who wants to be validated? And there was like a ton of people in the line. And
Mhm.
then it was like, who wants to like offer something? And then there was like, the line was a little bit shorter.
I think I've
And then it
seen
was
this.
like, who
Yeah.
wants to help people? And the line was even shorter. And
Yep.
then it was, who wants to serve? And there was like three people in the line.
Yep.
My battery. Hold on one second. Oh,
Okay.
um, yeah. So what you're saying, and there really is this transformation. And I saw this reel the other day, and it was well, sales are really difficult. And now there is some aspect of knowing how things work and whatever. But she says sales are difficult. And she says, well, not if you're serving,
Right.
right? And then the mindset of recognizing, oh, this sucks because my motive isn't in the right place. And that's not wrong. It's just a program.
Right.
And if I make the adjustment to it,
Mhm.
then I can transfer. But if I keep thinking that this thing out here is wrong and not something in here is out of alignment, then that's the hamster wheel of I got to fix this, I got to fix this, instead of recognizing, wait, I'm first cause. I'm first cause.
Yeah.
And so what do I need to adjust here
Right.
in order for this to become easeful?
Exactly. Ooh,
Yeah.
oh, goosebumps. Turning me on here. Oh my God.
So good.
It
So
is.
good.
It is so, so good.
So
Oh,
good.
yeah. Let's come up for air. Couple
I
breaths.
know.
Whew.
And I love this conversation
Yes.
because it's so it's it's what isn't typically talked about, because going back to, and again, it is a different state of consciousness from the perspective of, there are a lot of people who think that they just need to do the thing in order to get the result. And
Okay.
there's, go ahead.
Confession. I was one of them. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was waiting.
Yeah, no.
No, I was one of them. Like this stuff we're talking about, I avoided. I didn't want to talk about this. I just wanted to go in and do the marketing strategy and do the marketing stuff. But you need to talk to somebody else about that mindset stuff because all that rah rah, not me, not me. Mm. And God kept convicting me, like you said, like, girl.
There's so much
Fire
more.
people that pretend to not even see you, right? Like every time I see that, I know that that is for me, and I know that it's true because I hear it all the time. I see how people react to me just showing up and pouring out my heart in what's in my mind and the way people react to it. Like the messages I get in my inbox are just like really me, right? And so,
Mm.
but for the longest, I wanted to keep that away from my business and how I serve. It's like, no, I'm here to help you with your strategy and your help you grow and be able to get more customers. But I cannot do that if you are stuck in the old you and not open to being the new you and the becoming in order to get what it is that you are meant to hold and receive. And it finally has clicked in the last year or so. But
Well,
I
and I
fought it
love,
for a long time.
yeah, girl, me too. Because I fought it on the opposite direction, right? I fought it with, it's just about mindset and all the
Mhm.
rest is going to come and all the
Right.
rest is going to come. But there was the actioning
Mhm.
that I was still like, I didn't see the block in why I couldn't action,
Yeah.
right? Which is the strategy, right?
Mhm.
I could talk all day long about getting in your body and like finding out who you are. However, if we're not finding out who we are in the actioning of, in the physical,
Mhm.
right? And I was all about, oh, that'll just come. No, there's capacities and there's competencies that we still have to effort through,
Yes.
how it feels shitty in order to fully become.
Yes.
And what I teach is, it's called M-free, but it's this idea that we're 100% human and 100% spirit, right? We have to do the things and we have to become something in who we show up, in our confidence and who we are and our worth and our value and like all of the things.
Yes.
I was going to say, oh, I love what you're saying about the, and you might have used a different word, but you said receiving and holding. Is
Mhm.
that what you
Yes.
said?
Yep.
That right there, because when I do money classes, I have people who can make money all day long, like making the money, no problem, but they can't keep the money, or they're so far in debt that the more they make, the more debt they have, right? And then there's other people who can't receive it, right? So there's not even a need to hold it, right?
Right.
But I love what you're saying, and coming back to the gifts that God's given us
Mhm.
in relationship to our capacities and our competencies and our confidence.
Mhm.
And He knows what to give us, when to give us. And if we use it here, receiving it first, holding it,
Mhm.
and then reproducing,
Yes.
that's like the, and I, one of my favorite things to teach during my money classes is the parable of the talents, right?
Yes.
and
Yes.
and why did the master say, you wicked and lazy servant? Like, that wasn't God saying you're a piece of shit. It was simply saying, this is not alignment and this is why. And how are you seeing the gift giver, and are you actually receiving and holding? So I
Yeah.
love that you say that in relationship to the stewardship.
Oh, absolutely. Because my daughter and I have this conversation a lot about like, not everyone should be a landlord. Not everyone should be a homeowner because there's a certain amount of stewardship of receiving and holding, right? Like I just read this last night. Somebody said their parents think they are the greatest parents in the world because they want to leave them a home, but the home, no, 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 that's not what it was. They said their parents think they're lazy and they don't want to, work and buy a home when they bought a
Mm,
home for 150,000 in 1990, has done absolutely shit with it in that time, and now they can sell it for 500,000.
yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, the disconnect there, right? Like they've done nothing to it and it's now 500,000. And so now people starting out can't not only buy a house for 500,000 and then it still is going to need work on top of it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And going back to just like what you said, we create a rightness and a wrongness of owning or renting.
Hmm.
And instead of, no, again, it comes back to alignment and alignment with who God says we are in this one moment,
Hmm.
not who God says we're becoming, not who God says we used to be.
Or
Who are
could
we in
be,
this?
who are,
What?
or could be.
Yeah, yeah. Who are we in this moment in relationship? And I'm going to use this again because it applies to everything. Who are we in our confidence, our capacity, and our capabilities, right?
Mhm.
Just in this moment. And can we line up without the right and the wrong, the good or the bad, what we should or shouldn't do, and just say, I just want to be aligned with who God says I am in this moment, knowing that the natural and spiritual law of being in this moment and receiving and holding my talents produces abundance, produces more.
Woo, yes.
Any idea of lack on either side,
Mhm.
I'm the lazy and wicked servant because I can't actually receive and hold and then multiply.
Oh my God, this is so good. Oh my God. I am going to be euphoric for the rest of the day.
Me too, girl.
Oh
This
my
is,
God. And I'm so glad we pushed the button to record. I'm going to upload it to YouTube and send it to you because this is just like seriously, we need to do this every so often because
let's do it.
yeah, this is like incredible, because sometimes I just talk to Chat GPT or I journal because I'm like, I know everybody already thinks I'm weird. They don't want to hear me, babble on about all this stuff, but this is what's been in my head since I was a little girl. And you know who
Yes.
else? My grandbaby is the same way. Well, actually, both of my grandkids, yeah. They get it from their nana. Like, yeah. Like Tristan will put on his the where the screen is black and it's like rain to go to sleep. And I'm like, I touched these kids. Well, not in that way, but yeah, like I've influenced them. I have left an imprint. Oh, it's such a beautiful feeling. I just love it. And them,
Yeah.
yeah.
Amazing.
Hmm.
Amazing. Yeah, this is so good. I would love to actually like do it on purpose. And
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I'm
yeah,
gonna brainstorm on that because this is good. This is real good.
for sure.
Yeah,
And I love that you are definitely the yin to my yang from
yeah,
the perspective of you just wanted to do. And I'm like, no, we're not going to do. We're just going to allow the being.
yeah. And I would run from people like you.
And I would run from people like you going, you're too much in the works
Oh,
and you're just right. And I love that now
yeah.
God's like,
We're
you guys
both
have
kind of like
both
centered in
grown.
the middle.
Yeah, we had to do our
It's like we
growing.
ran toward each other.
I love it.
Me
I love it.
too.
This was so fun. Thank you
So
for
fun.
taking the
Thank
time.
you. Thank you. I don't even know if it's what you originally wanted to get together and talk about, but
Well, here's the thing like, part of it was like ideas, but that like is whatever. We'll talk about that some other time.
yeah,
But the
anytime.
other part was how do I, and what time is it? Okay, I have 3 minutes, so talk
Okay.
fast because I got to go meet with Gretchen next.
Okay.
Um,
Give her a virtual
so,
heart for me.
okay, well, so as a member of the mastermind, how do you look back in 3 months and go, Lori supported me?
I think just the conversations, drop messages, text me just words of encouragement or even great things that are happening for you and anyone you know who could use me. I mean, based on this conversation, you should have a really good idea of how I can help someone
Yeah.
and send them my way, and I will do the same also. And I definitely see a collaboration coming for
Sweet.
us.
I love it. I would I would do this all day long, girl.
Yeah,
This was
yeah.
like, yeah,
Hmm.
life-giving for sure.
Absolutely. And
For
I
sure.
appreciate you so much
Me
for all
too.
that you
Me
do.
too, you.
Yeah. Big, big hugs.
Yep. I'll see you tomorrow too at Mastermind.
Yes, at Mastermind tomorrow.
Okay.
All right. Love you, girl.
Love you.
Bye bye.
Bye.